Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name is Brandon, and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 95 of the What Sold series, where I show you my daily eBay sales. And at the end of the video, I'll go over my net profit for the day. Let's not waste any time, let's jump right into the sales. The first sale of the day is this Roper Western shirt in a men's XL. It took 9 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping. More recently, I actually picked up a big lot of Western shirts, and it had very similar ones to this. It might even have the same one, but I didn't include the full name of the tag. I just put Roper Western shirt, and some of the Ropers have a different little name below them. I'm not sure if that's what helped sell some of the newer ones that I got better, because they sold for like around the $20 mark, and this one took a while and only sold for $10. So make sure you include the full name if there's more on the Roper tag. So number 2 was this Marlboro denim jacket in a men's XL. It did have some flaws on it. It sold in 16 days for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. These are very oversaturated, but if you can pick them up for a good price and don't mind letting them go cheap, then they can still be decent sales. So number 3 was this Eton dress shirt in a men's 17. This sold in 4 months for a best offer of $18 plus shipping. I've noticed this was with quite a few of my Eton dress shirts. They've been selling for closer to that $20 range when they used to sell for like $25 to $30. So I'm not sure if I'm missing some keywords or if the market has just dropped on it. I'll have to look a little bit closer, but make sure you do your research when you're picking up Eton dress shirts. So number 4 was this high noon pearl snap flannel in a men's XL. This took about 10 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $10 plus shipping, and that was with a hole right in the front of it right there. So I'm pretty happy to sell it for $10 with that hole. So number 5 was this Wrangler George Strait shirt in a men's large. This took 4 months to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $12 plus shipping. The George Strait button-ups, I would say, are a little bit better than just the regular Wranglers. This one was a very basic print, so it only sold for $12. If you get some of the better prints, they can go for like $20 to $25. So number 6 was this Ralph Lauren sweater. I think this was a men's large, and it did have the crest logo on the front of it, which does help add some value. It sold in 11 months for a best offer of $18 plus shipping. Sale number 7, this was a great sale. This was the cool Burr jacket in a men's large. This sold in 2 days for full price $80 plus shipping. I want to say I paid either $37 for this or like $42 for it. And I almost left it behind at the thrift store because I typed in cool and then the style code, which was 1052, and there was like not some very good comps popping up, but I did get the name of the jacket from those comps, typed that in, realized the actual selling price for them and the sell-through rate, so I ended up picking it up. So just be careful when you are looking it up. I know that eBay search has been a little messed up lately. I think they've made some changes, and they're probably still dialing it all in, so just be careful when you're looking up comps. So number 8 was this Lululemon commission shirt in a men's large. This sold in 4 days for a best offer of $32 plus shipping. So number 9, this is another nice sale and a pretty rare shirt. This is a Rain Spooner Mele Kalikimaka, so one of the Christmas Hawaiian shirts. It was just in a size men's medium, but it was from the 50th anniversary, so 2006, and it was a long sleeve. You're not going to come across a lot of Rain Spooner long sleeves. I would just suggest picking most of them up. They're probably going to sell pretty quickly and for a good amount. And just that being paired with a Mele Kalikimaka shirt made it sell for a ton. This sold in 3 months for a best offer of $85 plus shipping. As you guys can see, I did have it priced probably way too high. This was probably the only one on the market at the time, so I thought I'd just price it to the moon. I priced it for $150, ended up going on sale and then taking a best offer. I thought that this was the best time to sell it because Christmas is coming up. I could have risked it and held out a couple more weeks till closer to Christmas, but $85, I probably paid around $20 for it, so I'm pretty happy to get that sale. Sale number 10 was a basic Lululemon t-shirt in a men's small, just one of the athletic stretchy ones. This sold in 2 months for a best offer of $13 plus shipping. Sale number 11, a pair of Travis Matthew golf pants in a men's 38. These sold in 10 months for the sale price of $23 plus shipping. Travis Matthew golf pants do pretty well. They're not going to sell for $1 million, but they'll sell somewhere in the $20 to $30 range usually. So number 12 was this Gaunt shirt in a men's medium. This one was called the Hugger, and it was like a chambray shirt, and I love selling, any almost any brand chambray. Sold in 12 days for a best offer of $14 plus shipping. So number 13, I want to say this might be only a handful of times that I've sold this brand. I'll go ahead and show you guys the tag real quick. It's like Pomer. It is a Hawaiian shirt brand, and this was an older one. I thought it was from like the 70s, but this one sold in 17 days for full price, $30 plus shipping, and that was with some flaws on it. So I will be keeping my eye out for that specific tag going forward, and probably give myself a shot on a couple more of them. But this brand is probably pretty sensitive to era, like which decade it's from. A lot of the Hawaiian shirt brands are sensitive to the decade. So if they're like from the 90s and sometimes the 80s, if they're not the best brand, then they're probably not going to sell very well. You need to get the older ones from the 70s, 60s, and 50s for certain brands. And you're just going to have to learn that over time from trial and error. So number 14 was this vintage Crazy Shirts Hawaii sweatshirt in a men's XL. This one was for Laguna Beach, and it did have a ton of discoloration on it. It sold in 2 months for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. So number 15 was this Pendleton flannel shirt in a men's XL. I think this did have a couple small holes on the front of it, but it still sold in 1 day for a best offer of $21 plus shipping. So number 16 in the final sale of the day was this Patagonia Responsibility in a men's medium, and this was a long sleeve one. It sold in 45 days for the full sale price of $22 plus shipping. Almost all of these basic Patagonia t-shirts that have big logos on them sell really well. So even if I paid up $10 for this, I'd still be making a decent profit. So keep your eye out for these Patagonia shirts with big logos. That's it for the sales. Let's jump into those numbers. On December 4th, we sold 16 items for a total gross sales of $570.20, giving us a nice average sale price of $35.64. That's right where I want my average sale price to be. Just a couple items low on the number of items sold, but overall a decent day. As you know, the selling costs and net sales, they're always inaccurate, but here they really are. So the selling costs today were $176.55. The breakdown for that is $69.78 in eBay final value fees, $95.04 in shipping labels, and $11.73 in promoted listing fees. Only 6 of the 10 sales came via promoted listings. I promote all my items at 5%. I'm happy to pay those fees to get those sales. Now, if we take away the selling costs and the tax and fees collected by eBay away from the gross sales amount, that's going to give us our net sales for the day of $362.70. I do want to break all of this down a little bit more. That way I have got a question and a follow-up question about some of the profit and the cash flow. So the net sales, you can think about that as the money that is coming back to my bank account, because that is the gross sales minus my fees minus my shipping. So that number includes the cost of goods. Using the average cost of goods, that's going back to my bank account. So $362.70. That's not all profit. I do still need to take out the cost of goods that I had to pay based on my averages for those items. So the average cost of goods over the past 3 months is $12.35. So for 16 items, that gives us a total cost of goods for the day of $197.60. Now, if we take that away from our net sales, that's going to give us our net profit for the day of $165.10. So you can think of the money I actually profited on the items, but I'm still getting both that $165.10 and the $197.60 from the cost of goods back to my bank account. Then I'm basically just reinvesting my cost of goods money, that $197.60, into buying new inventory. And then that $165.10 doesn't need to be reinvested. That can actually be my profit that I can take out of the business if I want to. Since I'm currently selling an average of over 19 items per day, and I'm listing 20 items per day, those are very close. So I'm not having to reinvest much other money besides the actual cost of goods to get new inventory. If you're listing a lot more items than you're selling, then you're going to have to reinvest your profit to meet those demands. So if I only sold 10 items per day, but I was listing 20 items per day, then most of my net profit from those 10 items would have to be reinvested into buying more items that I'm going to list. But since I'm selling close to the same amount, then all of that cost of goods money kind of just stays within the business and recycles over and over to buy new items, since the selling and the listing are very close together. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. If you guys still have more questions, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to go more in depth or answer any questions or give it more of a breakdown if I can help anybody out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 96 of the What Sold series. Peace.